But one thing about it, in any business, longevity wins the battle. Consistency and hanging in there, the lessons you learn along the way
Wow.
create the situations you currently have.
Wow.
For example, a lot of people, go to school to get their degrees in business and they pay for it. Getting knowledge sometimes is not always free.
Yeah.
You go to school, you get that knowledge, you get your business degree, you come out, you spend 50, 60 grand on that degree, come out here in the real world and put it to work. Well, even if you don't go to school and you're in business, you're going to pay. There's always a learning curve. And there's many things I had to go through, many things I had to pay, learning the hard way to get to where I'm at. But longevity, consistency, the knowledge I've learned over the years has gotten me to where I'm at. Years ago, I used to probably pull freight for 89 cents to $1.30 a mile. Now I've gotten up to customers to where I'm doing it between $4 and $5 a mile.
Outstanding.
So that's part of staying in business. Even in the restaurant industry, just staying there and being there over time, you'll build up the customer base. As long as you keep good customer service, a quality product, hanging in there, the customer base will eventually start paying for itself.
Get up, get out of bed, and get going.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world. Running on a hamster wheel, but searching for something I can't feel. I just wanna take a breath, feel my wings spread, levitate above the ground and make eye contact with clouds. Now I'm rising, I'm soaring above it all. I just wanna be free, finally, I wanna be free.
Testing.
Alrighty, yes sir.
Testing. What up, man? How you doing? Good. You good this morning?
I'm good.
Yeah, good.
I
man.
got up about 5:15.
5:15. How'd you feel when you woke up this morning?
I was good. I took a shower.
It was good.
So
Was it
that
cold?
Yeah. Well, it was like I said, the intermediate where I go hot, cold, and then I get out off of hot.
Yeah.
So like I'm not freezing when I get out here because it's winter time.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I felt good.
Well, good,
Turn
man.
your mic a little bit.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, feel good. I'm excited. We got our first interview today.
Yeah, good.
Yeah, you can rotate it right here too.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's not like you haven't been doing this for about 4 months now.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have Mr. Ondre Reynolds, right?
Yeah, Mr. Ondre Reynolds, man, owner of Gabbys. Yes, seafood restaurant, soul food restaurant, all that. Yeah, owner of Gabby. So I'm excited, man.
Did you grow up with Ondre?
I did not. Andre's a little bit older than I am, but I've been on the family for a long time. Met Ondre, I don't know, probably about 6 years ago, and just been, a down-to-earth, stand-up guy. He's also involved with Strength in Numbers with us. And so, yeah, he's just a great guy. Went into business for himself. Actually has 2 businesses. He has a truck driving business too, along with the restaurant. So, yeah, I'm excited to interview him and, just see, what his thoughts are and, how he become a business owner. Man, you special ed. I heard the dryer going, man, the whole time, but, it's okay. Burn! Buzzer goes off.
Retake.
Yeah.
We had a little outtake. I had the dryer still going when we started.
Yeah,
so.
you wide awake now, huh?
Yeah, we're 4 or 5 minutes in. Man, I tell you what, I feel awake, but it's been one thing after another this morning. Bo walks in. I start my cake, my Keurig, and then it starts running. I don't have a cup in there, so I have to go grab a cup and then capture whatever coffee's left. And then we start filming, and then I've got the dryer running, which I don't know if you'll be able to hear that or not, but, it's not worth taking the chance going 35 minutes in and then realize we have a dryer going.
Yeah, you had the dryer going. So it just hadn't been your morning this morning, right? But you are up, you are alive, you are ready to go. So that's a good thing.
I'm ready to go.
So that's a good thing. That's a very good thing. So you ready to go?
Today's an exciting day for me because we get to do our first interview.
Yes.
Our first live interview. Well, we're doing it remotely through Zoom.
Yes.
But we get to do our first interview. I just wanted to talk about what we discussed and kind of the vision that we had is we had an idea for bringing together and starting to talk with small business owners, large business owners, entrepreneurs who are on the daily grind, who have brick and mortar shops, who run e-commerce, any kind of business, right? But I think you hear from these influencers who run businesses, and you hear from a lot of people who don't necessarily have physical locations, don't have a ton of employees. I think it's important to hear from actual business owners, not to take anything away from, social media business owners or anything like that, but to hear from the people that make the world go round and actually are in the day-to-day, that show Dirty Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think it's important to talk to the everyday business owner and get advice from them, because a lot of people watching this, I think, are going to want to go into business for themselves and work for themselves. And I think, you need the realistic nature of what it's like to be a business owner. And I want to hear all the nuggets too. Hear the adversity that they've gone through, whatever, they've had to go through in their life to get where they are, the good things, the bad things that have come from it, and just get a total unique 360 perspective. And throughout this journey and this series of interviewing business owners, that's something that I'm looking to take from it.
Yeah, I think everybody wants to be some type of business owner, whether you're working from your home or you're working, like Austin said, brick and mortar. I think, at some point in time, you gotta pick their brain, and you have to, get advice, and you have to get some advice that deals with your everyday work. I mean, if you're in upper management, or you're a supervisor, or you're a superior to somebody else that they're working under you, you are running that business, right? Regardless if you're the owner of the business, you're still running the business. And, you got to have a business mindset. You have to have some, some business attributes. You have to be business oriented to, even become a manager, even become a coach, even become, like I said, upper management. And so, me, interviewing the business owners, I'm taking away everything that they can give me. We talk about it all the time. We're kind of self-employed at the dealership. Yes, we have an owner that is great, but he allows us to, to run the dealership how we want to run it, and run the business right. And so being a business owner is tough. Being a business owner is stressful. Being a business owner is really, 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 really major in our society today, because there's a lot of small businesses that we don't even know about. There's a lot of online businesses that we don't even know about. And I'm excited just to talk to those people. And like I said, just to meet those people and experience what they're experiencing right now as a business owner.
I think even like you said, even if you are looking to move into upper management, looking to run a business that you don't necessarily even own, you still have to take some of these things that you're going to learn from people who own businesses, because if you're going to be running the company for them, or you're going to be, tasked with one of those roles, is you have to still implement those things. So I think it's very important that, you still pay attention, even if you don't want to go into business for yourself. It's still great to learn these things, even that might be the backside of the business.
Mm-hmm. And I just want to recognize all business owners, especially in our community, man. Like, again, we have a lot of small business owners, big business owners, and I just want to recognize those people and just give them some appreciation, give them their flowers. Again, being a business owner is tough, especially, in a society where it's pretty much diverse all over. You got to get your business out there, you got to advertise, and you got to bring the right people to your business so that, you can have a great crowd and stay in business. So I just want to, give a big shout out to every business owner that is out there, whether you're online, whether you're at home, or whether you're in the public every day. Continue to do what you do and continue to accomplish your goals and your dreams of being a great business owner.
Absolutely. Well, what's happened? Let's catch up a little bit.
Oh man,
I'm not gonna hit you too hard in the heart.
man, go on and do it, bro. You already know you want to bring it up, man. I mean, go on and do it, bro. You already know you want to bring it up. What?
Who them Cowboys?
Yeah, man. Nobody, man. Them boys ain't them boys, man. Them boys is them girls. I ain't lying. I love, man. Listen, man. I'm a true Dallas Cowboy fan, man. I mean, really, I'm a true Cowboy fan, man. But them Cowgirls played Sunday. We should have won.
I don't dislike them, but I have to bring some sort of parity here. It's like I don't want to see them. Like I don't want to see everybody shit on them like they always do.
Yeah.
But are they my favorite team? No. But then again, I don't really have a favorite team ever since Adrian Peterson left the Vikings. I'm kind of a transplant. I guess you could say I'm a bandwagon, but I don't really watch as much as I used to. I don't really necessarily have a team yet. I'm waiting on an OU player to go. Maybe I'll root for the Eagles because I do like Jalen Hurts. I do like OU, but I'm kind of a OU bandwagon. Whatever OU player I like, I kind of follow their career. I just root for them.
I got you. I got you, man. I got you. Yeah, the Cowboys. Yeah, tough loss, man. Tough loss. We was really close, but yeah, tough loss. I mean, you got to go and play ball, man. Playoff time is time to play ball. Playoff time is you're playing 100%, to your best ability. You have to, I mean, even the lowest record team can come back and win it all, man. So, you got to play your best ball, and I think it was a good game. Again, we talked about it last time, man. We got to eliminate them turnovers. I talked about interceptions and turnovers, and if we eliminate those, we win the game. I mean, we missed the extra point. We could have went down in the red zone. We had 2 interceptions. We could have kicked 2 field goals, and now the game's tied. 19-19 gives us an opportunity to go in maybe to overtime or, smash the fourth quarter. But, again, just in the heat of the moment, again, like I said, it was a good game. I mean, by a touchdown. So it could have been a lot worse.
Yeah.
So we had a couple players that were ailing a little bit, got a little bit injured a little bit. You can say all the excuses, but again, we just got to go out there and play ball, man. That's what it is.
I mean, you're one turnover away from being right in that game.
Yeah. So we lost the game.
In the playoffs, those turnovers, they just become amplified.
There you go. Absolutely. So, yeah, I took off all my apparel and, threw my towels back in the drawer.
Pulled a Skip Bayless?
Yeah, man. I'll pull it out next year. Yeah, I'll pull it out next year.
Let me ask you this. Do they move on from Dak and Zeke?
Man, I don't really know. I don't know. That's a great question. I've been kind of, boiling it over my head. I don't know. I mean, the Dallas Cowboys are pretty committed to some players that they get, man, that they, pay a lot of money to. They're big-time players. They're pretty committed to those guys. And so we'll see.
I would for sure move on from Zeke. I think you're paying him too much money.
Yeah, I mean, we can tell from Pollard this year. I mean, who was the better back? I mean, they kind of both took a role. Pollard kind of came in and did the long runs, and Zeke kind of found his spot in the short run. So I don't know, if they flip flop that way and integrate that into their offensive scheme. I don't know, but hey, time will tell, and we'll see.
It's crazy how quickly a running back's career can just vanish.
Vanish that quick, man.
Because he was considered one of the top 2-3 running backs in the league for
absolutely
the first few years, and then did he get hurt? I forgot.
He got hurt a little bit. Yeah, he got hurt. Took him out a little bit. Went to Cabo San Lucas and
didn't want to come back. I don't blame him on that.
Did some rehabilitation and so it's so we'll see. Yeah, we'll see. I really like Pollard, man. He did a good job this year. So I mean, so we'll find out, who are them Cowboys again next season, man.
Super Bowl picks. Who you got?
Man, it's tough, man. I don't know, man. I do like Philly. I mean, I'm not going to say I like Philly, even though, that's one of our rivalries. Man, but I'm a KC fan, man. So okay. I'm a Kansas City fan. So I'm going to shoot for Kansas City and Philly.
Okay, you had what's his name, Mahomes in fantasy, right?
I had Mahomes in fantasy. Yeah, I had Mahomes in fantasy. I sure did. So yeah, I had Mahomes in fantasy. Scored a lot of points for me. So yeah, got me in 5th place in one league, and then got me in 2nd place in another league. So yeah, I mean, so I'm a KC fan. So I think I'm gonna shoot for the first team, go for KC, and I'm gonna go for Philly.
I forgot that I was in our consolation championship.
Yeah,
against Brennan.
Yeah,
and then I had a couple players I didn't start. And I ended up being in 4th place.
Fourth place, yeah. Could have came up a couple spots. Yeah. So, Dustin Master, you won fantasy this year, huh?
Oh yeah, Dustin. Well,
Yeah.
Dustin and Daniel.
Dustin and Daniel.
Yeah. So DeMar Hamlin, him being injured, obviously, that's more important than fantasy league. But I'm sure a lot of fantasy leagues were like this. We had to split winners because the person who won wouldn't have won if Joe Burrow and then the Bills defense had continued the game and got their season average. He would have won by like 3 or 4 points. Daniel would have. But Dustin won because the game completely stopped. And, that was in the finals.
Yeah.
So they didn't get any points for that game. So we ended up having a shared pot for the winners.
How much was the pot? So we all get
$50
$50.
buy-in,
So
$50 buy-in. So $150 a piece.
Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been $350 to the winner.
Yeah.
But now it was $300 split.
Yeah.
There's 2 winners.
Yeah, that's a nice little win.
Yeah, hey.
Yeah, nice little win, a little fantasy, a little 150.
Yeah. A lot of people were just wanting to do $100 buy-in at the beginning. I was like, I'm not that committed.
Yeah.
I'm not that committed. I'll do 50.
Yeah.
With it.
We can bump it up, man. We can bump it up this year.
We might bump it up next year.
Yeah, bump it up. So I'm going to win it, so bump it.
I'm kind of tired of seeing Dustin win, honestly.
Yeah.
He gets cocky and keeps talking about going back to back. Well, he went back to back. So
Yeah.
I can't really say anything to him.
Yeah. I just flipped the other league on him, asked him where he's at in that one. I won that one last year, got second this year. He don't want to talk about that one. He just wants to talk about one league. The one that he won on. Yeah.
The league I'm in, yeah.
Yeah, not the one that he got fifth in.
I stand by it. I think I would have won or even at least made the finals again if Breece Hall hadn't got hurt.
Yeah.
He was averaging 22, 23 points a game, and then he tore his ACL.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, huh?
And then I was rotating running backs, and oh my God, I had like 5 players in my starting lineup by the end of the season that were pickups.
Oh yeah,
free agents.
Yeah. I messed up a week, man. I didn't start some people. I messed up a week. Brought me some points down.
It's easy to do.
So, yeah, it's easy to do.
You got Monday, Thursday, and Sunday games. Now Saturday games.
Yeah, now Saturday games. You're right. So
that's a recent thing, right? I mean, I know they kind of used to do them, but they do them a lot more frequently.
Yeah, last couple of years now.
They just
Saturday night games. But they said that we were going to do that, man. Kind of bring some excitement on Saturday. You know what I mean? After college football.
Yeah.
Bring some excitement on.
I kind of like it.
Me too.
On Saturday
Yeah,
nights.
no, I like it a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot. Gives those guys the time to rest on Sunday. You know what I'm saying? Give them a full week, Monday through, Saturday to practice and get back on Sunday. So, yeah, I like it a lot.
The iPad will probably have, or the iPhone will probably have better audio anyways. Oh, there we go.
Can you hear me?
All right, I can hear you.
Okay. It's like I got to do it on my phone.
Okay.
Can you see me?
Not yet. No, sir. But at least we can hear you, so we can at least start talking while you're figuring that out.
All right. Okay, start video.
There you go.
What up, bro?
What's happening, brother? Took a minute,
Awesome.
but we got it.
Yeah, for sure. It took a minute, but we got it. How you
Awesome.
doing this morning?
Good morning, man.
Good morning. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. No
Well, good.
complaints.
Well, good. Where you traveling to?
I'm in Springfield, Missouri right now.
Ooh. Early mornings, huh?
Yeah, getting ready to head back to the East Coast.
Gotcha. How's the weather there?
Good now, but it's a storm coming. So can't say the same about in the next 24 hours.
Yeah, for sure. Well, be safe out there on them roads, man.
For sure, man. I appreciate that.
Well, yeah, well, good deal, man. I was telling Austin, I think we met probably about 6 years ago, and how fond of I was to you and how I adapted to you, and so I just want to give you just big props, man, right now on not only owning one business but owning 2 businesses, and so a lot of people may not know that you also have a truck driving business, and so big shout out to you, man, and continue to do a great job. So I'm proud of you, and I look up to you, especially being a young black owner. It's tough in the world to become a business owner anyway, but, needs to say being a black owner and, being a successful business owner. So appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you. That means a lot, man. Thank you so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I kind of let Austin start a little bit since I know, a little bit, about you and your background and, the family. I was sharing with Austin that, I've been knowing the family a long time. And so you guys have been a standout family to me and Marcus and, all of you guys. So I appreciate that. And then I'll let Austin get started, man, and pick your brain a little bit. Austin's, always inspiring, from business owners and owning an own business and us starting this podcast. That's kind of how we kind of started. And so we need some tips and stuff to keep motivated and, keep going like you are.
Oh, definitely, man. It's cool.
Ondre, just tell me a little bit about you, since I was going to do a little more of an introduction and just kind of a shoot the shit, but, I had some technical issues, as we always seem to have, Bo. But I'll just let you tell us a little bit about you first.
Man, I've been in trucking probably since the early 90s. This is what I done when I was in the military.
Thank you for your service.
Yo, thank you, man. Appreciate that. I was in transportation and logistics, and everything that I'm doing now, I actually done in the military. So, when I got out the military, I moved down to Houston and, got back into trucking. Well, actually, I did car sales for a little bit, man, for about 5 years. I started trucking, and I drove for about 8 months and wanted more home time, so I sold cars down there for 5 years. But I eventually got back into a truck in around 2006. I bought my first truck in Houston, and it's been, all the way to the top from there, man. So I owned a cab company in Ardmore for about 5 years as well, which was part of the same logistics I did in the military. So everything transportation, only thing that I haven't done that I've done in the military is record, because I did have a little record experience when I was in the military. But transportation has always been what it's been for me, man. I mean, ever since I was a kid, I used to, when I was riding with my mother, I would do the whole horn thing for the truckers, man. I was always fascinated by trucks, and that's just what it is for me, man. I think in 2011, I started doing concerts. I brought a couple concerts to Ardmore, and I almost opened a club in Waco around 2012. So I've done some other ventures over the years, but my mainstay and my foundation, which still continues to be, is and probably always will be trucking. It's near and dear to the heart. So that's a little bit of my background. But trucking is what it is for me, man.
Gotcha. Hi, Ondre, how long were you in the service? And you served in the U.S. Army?
I was in the Air Force.
Okay,
I was
okay.
there for a little bit over 2 years, about 2.5 years. And I was stationed up in the Wyoming area, Colorado, out in Las Vegas for a little while. I stayed out there for a little while, but yeah, I was in a little over 2 years, man, about 2.5 years. Got you.
Did that 2.5 years in the military help your business and help your mindset for the business, being disciplined and being, motivated and dedicated?
Most definitely helped my mindset. Well, one thing about my mindset, I've always kind of been a motivated, goal-driven person. And the military broadened my horizons. It got me out of Oklahoma. I seen and done things that I had never done. Good. At the age of 17, I was doing things that most people wouldn't imagine in the military. So that did definitely expand my mindset when it comes to a lot of things.
Outstanding.
I want to poke into that a little bit, being in the military, you have to be very disciplined, or at least you have to develop it. I would think. You said you've always been a very motivated person. For me, I wasn't until I became an adult and got out of the real world. I'm sure a lot of people can share that sentiment as well. But what are some things that maybe you had growing up, and what are some things that maybe you even learned in the military, some tips to help you be more disciplined for people like me that, motivation now isn't the issue, but Bo and I talk about it a lot, is discipline and, getting up early, like we've been doing for the podcast. Something like that is something that I'm working on, and just staying consistent. Do you have any tips for discipline?
Well, I mean, I guess I could say my discipline foundation would have came from my mother, and the motivation at a very young age. We sold candy. That was my mother's thing. She did a lot of fundraisers for the church, so there was always a challenge placed before me to see who can sell the most candy, or it was a lot of things that my mother instilled in me at a very young age that I can contribute to my current discipline. But the one thing that I would say that helps is just being consistent. That's how you build a great basin or a great foundation in discipline. Just being consistent as possible. I mean, every week might not be the same, but still trying to hit a consistent. For example, my exercise. I know Bo exercises a lot.
Yes, sir.
I might not have the best week every week in my exercise, but I might get 2 workouts out of the 3, or but just consistently trying to hit that mark every week has been a great foundation in my discipline.
So showing up's half the battle.
Yes, most definitely. Yeah, that's it.
Ondre, how long has Gabby's been open? Your restaurant?
Gabbys has been open for 2.5 years now. Let me see. So yeah, about 2.5 years now, man.
Awesome. What motivated you to get into the restaurant business?
Well, my mother, everything's my mother, man. My mother always sold food as a side hustle. She probably had about 3 hustles. And when I say hustles, I mean good ways to make money. She had a daycare. She sold candy. She had a little candy store in the house. She also, once or twice a month, rented a building and sold dinners. So, food has always been near and dear to my heart, and making people happy through food has always been near and dear to my heart. But I had a restaurant, Ardmore Main Street Cafe in downtown Ardmore before Gabbys, and it probably lasted about 5 months. COVID hit, and some other things happened that just crashed that one, but I think I went out of business with Ardmore Main Street Cafe about February of 2021, and the discipline and the motivation that we're talking about drove me to try it again, September. So months after I went out of business with the first restaurant, I came up with the concept of Gabbys, and I brought in a chef that I was in the military with. Brought him in from Pennsylvania. He was my first initial chef, and we got it going. And ain't been no looking back since then.
I'd say you have to. I'm glad you touched on it, because you have to be motivated. If something like that, COVID happens, a lot of people gave up, and you didn't give up on your dream. You made it happen again. So I mean, I think that's something that I wanted to touch on, is through the pandemic, how did you navigate the adaptation of the change and having to constantly, adapt through that circumstance?
Yeah, man. I mean, the Gabby's beginning and the first year and a half is pretty much all COVID. So how did I adapt? Finances. It took a lot of out of pocket to keep Gabby's going. It was a huge investment. A lot of times I was paying bills out of pocket, paying payroll out of pocket just to keep the doors open. So it has not been an easy journey. But my passion and my drive refuses to allow me to quit. A lot of people say, well, how much money are you willing to spend to keep Gabbys open? And I couldn't answer that. Many times I wanted to say, I could do better things with my money, but I'm just not a quitter. So I think we've made it through the hard times, and we're getting to a more positive territory at Gabbys.
That's awesome, man.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. I want to go back to something you said earlier, Andres, where you said that, you learned discipline from your mom at an early age. And so, I think, I know that's what you're teaching your daughter right now, because the restaurant is called Gabby, and that's your daughter's name. So, how is the discipline and transitioning her into the restaurant and making sure that she stays disciplined, through COVID and things of this, because obviously as a child, she goes through a lot of things at school and friends and stuff like that. Is this a part of the discipline that you're teaching her?
Oh yeah, most definitely. And my children are required to exercise. So
Good deal.
that is a great foundation in discipline. Being Gabby's whole thing kind of came about because, I got tattoos with all my kids' names on them.
Yes, sir.
Even my oldest son. I don't even know if y'all know Donovan, but that
Yes, I
tattoo
do.
has all of my children's name on it. And Gabby said, why don't I have a tattoo? Why is my name not on your arm? I said, well, you wasn't born yet, but I want to do something even better. And then I got the whole Gabby's thing with her likeness, and she was just ecstatic.
Good.
But the main thing in that is to teach and build hope.
Good.
Okay?
Good.
For her to see, in my community, imagery is everything.
Yes, for sure.
And for a young Black child to see her likeness on the face of a business with her name is more hope than most children could imagine having at that young age.
Yes, sir.
So that's part of the reasoning, behind that. And, even Gabby had to come into the restaurant last summer. I think we spent most of our summer working at the restaurant. And there was days, that, she didn't want to come up there, but we were short-staffed, we're making it through COVID, and all of us, my children were there. So Gabby kind of had to be there with us. But what she learned is, even though it gets tough, sometimes you still got to go.
Yeah.
So that in itself is part of the discipline that she's learning at a young age.
Good deal. Good deal. Owning Gabbys for 2.5 years now, is it everything that you wanted? I mean, I know it's not, probably the ultimate goal for you as far as Gabbys, but how's it going for you in the first 2 years? I mean, scale to 1 to 10.
Man, financially, it's definitely not on the higher end of that echelon. But I just, I just take pride in, being a Black-owned business in a time when there's not a lot of us in this area. And that's kind of what I'm paying for right now.
Yes, sir.
I kind of take pride in being a beacon of light in my community.
Yes.
And if you can't put a dollar amount on that, I know most smarter businessmen probably would not have spent the kind of money that I've spent throughout COVID to keep Gabbys open. But it's all part of that hope thing. But if I was to give it a number, I would say 8.
Good deal. Good. That's a great number.
I think obviously you have the COVID circumstance, which leads to a lot of unforeseen things that you had to deal with financially and probably mentally going through it. But, I'm sure if you think back to whenever you started trucking, it all wasn't peaches and cream when you started. So I think starting any business, right, you're going to have a lot of trials and tribulations that you've got to go through. Each business, each different type of business is going to have its different circumstances that you have to adapt and overcome to. But I don't think that necessarily just because, you've had to come out of pocket, it's not worth it, right? Like you said, you can't really put a dollar amount on that. And I think that's something important for a lot of people to hear because, I mean, obviously I don't own a business yet. I have an LLC that I haven't done anything with, and that's why I kind of wanted to start this. But you having to go through that, we see on social media all the time that owning a business is the greatest thing in the world. But they don't show the nitty gritty and like the stuff that you are going to have to go through if you want to keep that business successful and grow it and scale it and do the, even just make it work like you're doing. So they don't always show some of the painful things that you have to go through. So,
Right. Yeah. One thing I can say, are you there? I think you are. Oh, okay, there we go.
Yeah, can you hear me? Yeah.
You're very right about that. There's a lot that you don't see on the outside. People think that owning a business is just glamour and fun. It is one of the toughest things I've done in my life. But the one thing that I gained hope from, I can remember years ago when I was in Houston and I bought my first truck. I look back on the dollar amounts I was making back then, and I used to daydream about being where I'm at now. I mean, me and a friend talked about this. He's a fellow trucking company owner as well, which I think would make a great future interview for you, man. This guy went from rags to riches, but we talked and laughed about how much we used to pull freight for back then, and we really thought we was making good money. But one thing about it, in any business, longevity wins the battle. Consistency and hanging in there, the lessons you learn along the way create the situations you currently have. For example, a lot of people, go to school to get their degrees in business, and they pay for it. Getting knowledge sometimes is not always free. Yeah. You go to school, you get that knowledge, you get your business degree, you come out, you spend 50, 60 grand on that degree, come out here in the real world and put it to work. Well, even if you don't go to school and you're in business, you're going to pay. There's always a learning curve. And there's many things I had to go through, many things I had to pay, learning the hard way to get to where I'm at. But longevity, consistency, the knowledge I've learned over the years has gotten me to where I'm at. Years ago, I used to probably pull freight for 89 cents to $1.30 a mile. Now I've gotten up to customers to where I'm doing it between $4 and $5 a mile. So that's part of staying in business. Even in the restaurant industry, just staying there and being there over time, you'll build up the customer base. As long as you keep good customer service, a quality product, hanging in there, the customer base will eventually start paying for itself.
Gotcha. Staying in business, Ondre, talk about staying in business is longevity and consistency, staying in business. What's one thing that you could give to a person that wants to start a business from the ground up? What's the first start should they do? What's the first start button they should press to start their business up? Where should they start?
Start small. Work your way up. I mean, like my man Austin was saying, just start a business. And one thing about being in business, this is everybody's biggest problem in business right now is capital.
Yeah.
Okay. We all need money to run a business.
Yes, sir.
And my motto was over the years to have a good foundation of steady cash flow.
Gotcha.
Right? And that's what the trucks did for me. So you might not be able to leave your day job right now, but starting a business, starting small, keeping your day job, and paying yourself, right, in time and money. What I say by that, in time and money. From your day job, contribute something to your business. Your time, contribute as much as you can to your side business.
Gotcha.
And your side business will grow from a small business to something that will eventually take care of you and your family.
Got you.
I was actually going to touch on that, so I'm glad you brought it up. You know, a lot of people have this illusion that as soon as they start a business, everything's going to go fantastic, and then they can just sit back, let their employees run everything, and they don't, you know, they can just go do whatever for their days, weeks, you know. But you had to obviously keep it going with capital, and I'm sure you've had to have some in-person oversight and training with some of the people. But you know, you said it, you've got to keep it running. You've got to feed the business. So you've had the trucking business that you've been doing, you know, for 25 years or so, and you know that's what's allowed you to keep it going and achieve some more dreams that you want, and you know, expand into different horizons.
Yeah, most definitely, man. One thing about it, people do have a misconception of what owning your own business is. I am my business's greatest asset right now.
Mm. Yes.
As you can see, I'm working for my business. I'm in this
Yes.
truck right now driving.
Yes.
You know, so you have to, you know, expect to work just as hard for your business as you do when you punch the clock for somebody else. You know,
Nice.
so yeah, you're right about that.
If not harder, right?
Oh yes, it's very hard. You know, if I was working for somebody else, I would only work a certain amount of hours a day, and I would have a certain amount of time off. You know, but man, my phone never stops ringing. I'm never off work. I mean, no
Yeah.
matter what time of the day or night, there's always something that needs to be fixed, and I'm the fixer.
Gotcha.
So yeah, it's just as hard when you get your own business, but you know, you gotta want it. You really gotta want it. I mean, you gotta have a passion for what you're doing, and if you have a passion for what you're doing, it's nowhere near as hard as it sounds. If you have that passion.
For sure. And you touched on it, man. And I think that every successful business owner is in the dogfight every day with his employees. I really, truly feel that. You know, I've researched a lot of business owners, and a lot of times, you know, those employees don't even know who owns the place, don't know where they live at, don't even know anything about them. And so you doing that in the dogfight, and, you know, I kind of share that with Austin. You know, he's on the road, man. He's taking care of his business. He's taking care of his family. So continue to do that, and I think that's a major key in owning your own business. You got to get in that dogfight. You got to get in there and be dedicated and motivated and have that longevity and that consistency. So, you know, I appreciate that, and thank you so much for clarifying that.
Yeah, thank you, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, that's very important. I call it in the trenches.
Yeah,
And,
absolutely.
You know, I'm not just a dispatcher sitting at home. Now, you know, last year I probably did not drive as much as I'm driving this year. But I've always been in the trenches with my guys. I can get out here and run from east to west coast just like I asked them to do. So, yeah, that is very important. Plus, it reduces labor, you know.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
That's very important.
Isn't that the ultimate dream, though, Andre? Being a business owner, you know, working your butt off in the beginning, in the middle, and then the end, sitting back and looking at how your business has grown and what great people you have around you.
Oh man, that's the future goal. That's the key, man, to be in that position to where, you know, the business actually works for you, you know, to where you're getting checks in the mail. That's the ultimate goal. And, you know, but one thing about me, bro, even in Austin, even if I do get to that point, I'm just a worker, man. I'm gonna probably still work. I love the open highway. You know, being in one place too long is you know, just a problem sometimes. I kind of like to move around. So even when I do get to that point, I can't say that I'm not gonna still drive, man.
Yeah, that's what's gonna keep you successful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's your love and your passion that drives a lot of people, man. It drives me. You know, I tell Austin all the time, and I'm gonna work until I physically just can't work anymore. I mean, really, you're gonna have to drag me out of the place that I'm working at, and you know, I'm planning on retiring from Carter County Dodge. So you keep driving, and I'm gonna keep working, and we'll keep inspiring people just like you are today.
Yeah, most definitely, man. Most definitely. And I do want to add something though, man. You've given me a lot of kudos, man. But I do want to say, you're doing great things in the community as well, and
Yes, he is.
that's what it takes, man. That right there is what it takes to change our community. So, kudos to you
Thank you.
for the things that you are doing in the community through the nonprofits and the donating. That's a real big thing, and that's giving somebody hope.
Thank you.
And that's the price of feeling, man.
Yeah, thank you. Well, the feeling's mutual, man. I was sharing with Austin, a lot of people don't know, and I'll share with you now that Ondre Reynolds is a part of Strength in Numbers, guys. So you may not see him, you may not talk to him, but he is there with us, and that's the reason we are so strong for great business owners just like Ondre Reynolds.
Yeah, man. It takes a village. Definitely takes a village.
Austin, you have anything for Mr. Ondre? I think we lost him.
I think we did lose him. I guess I need to upgrade to the Zoom Pro because we've only got 6.5 minutes left before it's going to cut us out. But yeah,
Ondre, we thank you, man. We
Yes,
thank
sir.
you so much for zooming in with us today. We apologize for the audio and losing Ondre, but Ondre is a successful business owner here in Ardmore, Oklahoma. He owns Gabbys, and he also owns a trucking service. So again, take what he said, have that longevity and that consistency, and just fulfill your dreams. Get in that dog fight if you want to open that business. And remember, you can't leave your day job right now or today, but you keep with that consistency and you will accomplish your goal of becoming a business owner, just like Ondre Reynolds.
that was awesome. I think we're definitely going to have to do a part 2 because we didn't get to do the full interview that I wanted.
Yeah,
we started about 30 minutes later than
Absolutely.
honestly.
Absolutely.
But yeah, I think that was awesome. I wanted to ask him a few more questions. Obviously, I've got to be at work in about 25 minutes, but this is what I want. With this is I want to take our perspectives, but there's so many people that we can talk to that we can gain ideas from. Oh, he's popping back in.
Yeah, man. Sorry about that. That was I was trying to clear a call. Broker was calling me, and I ended
Oh,
up.
no.
Oh,
Stay in that dog fight, man. You answer that broker's phone, not us.
no worries, man.
Well,
No worries.
I know what he wants. But yeah, man. Sorry about that.
It's
Can y'all
all right.
see me?
Sir?
Let's see here. Okay, there we go.
There you are. Hey.
We were just saying that I think we're gonna have to do a part 2 because it's wanting me to upgrade to Zoom Pro, and we've only got 5 minutes of meeting time left before it kicks off.
Yeah, well, hey, man, I got another guy that, this guy was probably a 3-time loser. And when I say 3-time loser, you guys know the ball back in the day, get in trouble almost 3 times with certain.
Yeah.
You could probably
Yes,
go to
sir.
life, go to jail for life. Well, this guy was almost to that point, and he got out and really changed his life. And one of my closest friends out here in trucking, the guy lives on a golf course. He bought an apartment complex. He's very, you just would never imagine this guy lives on the golf course with the same judges and lawyers that probably at one time would have convicted him. And, this guy is awesome. He's got a hell of a story. I tell him all the time, man, you should write a book. So I would really like for this guy to, and maybe you can, talk with him as well, man, because he's got a hell of a story, man.
Absolutely.
Knows a lot about business. He's a beast on Wall Street. He got me into buying stocks. He taught me about, buying stocks when they split. That's how I learned about Amazon stock splitting and Google stock splits. That's how I got into buying stocks. So this guy is awesome, and I really want to connect you with him as well.
Absolutely.
I love that.
Yeah, absolutely. We need to get him on, so we need to have a part 2 and get with him. And see, a great time for him, man. I enjoy speaking with people like that and hearing their story. Right. Obviously, it helps me stay motivated and keep that consistency going. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, man. It helps. You got to surround yourself with people who are doing positive things. One thing
Absolutely.
in high school, I might have ran like a 4.7 40, right?
Right.
But when you race against someone faster than you,
Yeah.
it increases your 40 time.
Yeah.
I raced against Chris Bertle, and
Oh,
I went from a 4.7 to like a 4.6.
oh yeah.
Still kind of slow in Ardmore standards because
Right.
everybody in Ardmore was very athletic. But
Running them 4.3s, man, 4.2s.
yeah, there you go. Just surrounding yourself with people who are doing big things
Yes, sir.
and moving a little faster than you. It keeps you going and motivated.
Yes, sir.
So that's why I would really like to introduce this guy to you, because he's been a little motivating me. Like when he first came into trucking, I knew a little more than he did, and I kind of taught him some things. Now the student has become the teacher.
Nice. Nice.
This guy's ran with it. I have no doubt that he'll be a millionaire here probably within the next few years. So
Good deal. Outstanding. Amazing.
Oh wow. Well, Ondre, I'm gonna cut it off pretty soon because I don't want the Zoom to cut it off and think we hung up on you. But I sure appreciate everything. Like I said, it's been an honor. This is what I want to do. I want to learn from guys like you because I'm only 25. I've got a lot of life ahead of me, so I want to learn as much as I can from everybody. And like you said, network, get around people that are better than me, and hopefully, try to rise to that level.
I won't say better. I won't use the word better. I would just say doing, a little more than what I'm doing. Pique your interest on things. But yeah, most definitely, man. You're young. Get started now, Austin.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. That's why I want to do it. And like I said, we need to do a part 2. I sure appreciate everything. And if you ever want to come back on, and we do it every Tuesday and Wednesday, so you're more than welcome.
Yeah, thank you, man. Thank y'all for having me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ondre, have a great day. Be safe out there. And, man, we love you, appreciate you, and continue to be a great business owner.
Thank you, sir. Y'all have a good day.
Thank you, sir.
too.
Drive safe out there.
Will do.
Deuces.
Get up, get out of bed, and get going.
Living for weekends, wishing I could take a break from this world.